Hello, 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 everybody. How are you guys doing today? It's Monday, it's the beginning of the new week. Welcome and welcome and Spy1319, thank you very much for the follow. Welcome to the Brat Army. Drew272, thank you very much for the follow as well. Welcome. Okay, so the plan for today is we're going to be playing some Final Fantasy XIV because I have been back in the game for like half a week or so, and we just entered Stormboot. I think I'm like 20 quests in. So yeah, I should be able to catch up until the next expansion comes out. What I have seen so far from the game is it is very like martial arts, like Jianghu themed. There is a lot of like pugilists. You have the dancer as well, which is kind of a martial arts class. Very like East themed. It's pretty interesting. Yeah. Without further ado, let's jump into the game. Oh. Scooch. Hey, Netro, thank you for the work. Thank you for the subscribe. 7 months in the... Thank you. Brrr. And the sub go. Brrr. Hope you had a good weekend. Also, although your weekend starts at... ends at, on Saturday, if I remember correct. You work on Sundays. The Mughal Mail. Oh yeah, whilst I left it, I was traveling east on a ship. Not without incident. How far into the Stormboat am I? We are about 20-ish% in. And we're almost at the halfway point of the game itself. Most alt. Well, do you have any idea what's going on? Hey, Marigos, thank you for the catnip. No, as the man said, despite the absence of wind and current, the misery is somehow being poured, of course. Why are we on a ship called Misery? This is kind of like asking to... like for trouble. It's like going on a car that's called Catastrophe. Well, why not fire up the ceruleum engines you have hidden below? An excellent suggestion based on knowledge you should not have. Alas, our engines appear to be more functioning for reasons that escape my engineers at present. I'm telling you, Captain, it's them things the lads saw. Mermaids? Mermen? Axe? Things that don't suppose I could convince you to attempt something more descriptive. An adjective, for example. Steelwolf's suggestion and fairy tales, not more. But if you must know, the things which he is reticent to name are the souls of deceased women, said to lure sailors to their deaths. Oh, there was a name for that. It's not mermaids. Banshees are kinda like souls of departed women. Acts. Posters. I think Alfie may be afraid of ghosts. Yes, indeed, if it is neither the sea nor the weather which is responsible, then it is probably a predatory entity of some sort, perhaps a siren or some such. For all we know, it could be a fellow spice trader employing magics to seize and plunder passing vessels. Regardless, we have but one recourse, to let the current take us where it will and deal with whatever we find. What a thoroughly pragmatic suggestions. Oh, I'm beginning to like you, girl. Once we arrive at our destination, my crew shall remain with the ship to defend it while we venture forth to deal with the cause of our troubles. With such a big MMO, they could have like added a bit more voice acting. Ganity said, I will know now what awaits us, but it will rue the day it revealed the sin. The Siren Song Sea now accessible. I don't want to wait that long. If I queue in as a DPS, it will be a while. Okay, 5 minutes. Ain't that bad. It is very eerie though. Like the ship in the fog. Can I follow the ship? Also, I like how the wind is going west to east, but the waves are going north to south. I don't think that's how physics work. Also, I don't like my new armor for the Death Knight. The previous one was more like Death Knight-ish, because it was like black and red. This one looks more like a forest warden, maybe because of the green cloak. I do like the sword though. It looks heavy. It looks like it has weight. I kind of missed playing MMOs. I have played quite a few. Of course, my journey started back with World of Warcraft. Then I have played also Ion. I have played. No, wait. Actually, my very first MMO would have been Lineage 2. And then World of Warcraft. Because I played Lineage 2 before World of Warcraft. I do miss Lineage 2. It was very community oriented. Gosh, it was really hard to farm the resources for all of the crafting and everything, so there was a thriving like player-to-player market. And also I kinda miss the Clone Wars. Hey Kai, how you doing? How was your weekend? Meowdy, meowdy. Me and a friend got another poor soul to play Apex with us. You're just corrupting people left and right, aren't you? Just kidnapping somebody to play Apex with you. You've been good. That's good. That's good. Yes, I am. Kai, I want to warn you that this is taken as a confession of you kidnapping somebody, and this can be used in a court of law. Also, this is recorded, so beware what you're like confessing to. If he's not good enough, we will sacrifice him so the next one be better. But for the bot gods, go for the Skull Throne. In your case, a bot for the Apex gods. Bones for Damo. To be honest, I have played Apex before. I really don't like the latest version of the game. It feels a bit mobile. I don't like the new like mode where you get killed, then you respawn, and then you get killed again, and then you respawn again. And also, I feel they've made it more cartoony feely. But for the butt go, goes for the boulder. It's a Skull Throne. What do you mean a boner throne? I think you may be praying to Swanesh instead of court, but dude. Which, don't get me wrong, like Swanesh has their benefits, you know? But different gods, wrong religion. Is chaos considered a religion? Was there more like cults, but on a galactic scale? I'm curious, does the Chaos Gods have influence outside of our galaxy? Because they are like perpetually existing throughout space and time, so they should be existing in different galaxies as well. Autocorrect Sonesh corrupted my phone, or Zinch playing his fucking tricks. That bird ducker gonna get dropped from the lamp pole with my sharp metal propel. What? What do you mean sharp? Huh? Sharp metal propeller. Are you a plane? Are you a bird? Are you a plane? Zinch, I feel, is the only god that... Because the whole concept of Zinch is like the game and trying to win the game. So once the game is over, Zinch will cease to exist. So he's basically trying to win the game, but at the same time he's sabotaging himself, so the game never ends. Or otherwise he will just stop existing. Sharp metal thrower. Okay, that makes more sense. Not really, but yes, I agree. Yes, I agree. Okay, wait time just suddenly jumped to 7 minutes. Amazing. Gangplank. Jinji said to be the strongest in his huge throw. He was the closest to win multiple times, but said, eh. Now watch this, and threw himself down 12 sets was there. Yeah, that's what I mean. That basically he's trying to win the game, but at the same time he's sabotaging himself, so the game never ends. Also, you know his throw when he split Kairos' head into two. One head sees into the past and one head sees into the future. So Kairos is always blind to the present. Okay. He threw him into the fucking black hole to see what would happen. Yeah. He just wants to experiment, you know? He just wanted to see what will happen. Okay. I guess the cat will have to wait. My cat, I don't know if you hear him, but my cat is currently sitting next to my chair, meowing, because he wants to go out. All of them. Okay, was our healer AFK? Like, what happened? I'd back on call to help mom recover her mail. I might have to beat up her boyfriend. Say no to violence. I'm a good 3v1 and co-op my cousins. I don't know what the situation is, but violence is rarely the solution. Okay. Squidward. Yeah, sounds like a bad situation, not gonna lie. I used to be like that, like my mom will be mentally and like physically abused by her second husband. We did like come down to like exchanging fists and so on, and I can tell you that that never solves anything. Basically, things got resolved once I moved out and my mom came to live with me, so she got away from her husband. So yeah, unless you like get her out of that situation, no amounts of threats, violence or whatever will solve this. Because if somebody like beats on the weaker like party and like beats on children and so on, they're not gonna stop. But yeah, to be honest, like in this situation, if like things are as bad as you say, like you need to convince your mom to get away from this person, because it sounds like that he's not a good dude. Yeah, the problem with like her just like throwing him out is that he comes back after, and they will sometimes like lose this kind of behavior for a while when they see that like things are going bad for them. But once they see that they're always gonna get a second chance regardless of what they do, they start to behave the same way they did before. So but yeah, I have been like around enough people that have been either abused by their parents or like their partner and so on, and I can tell you that it never ends well unless you give enough of a shock to this person and like you get them out of your life until they get their act together. Because if they think that they can like get away and will get forgiven for regardless of like what they do and how they act, they'll never change. It will be the same or same old. Akira got that wondered if you should ask some work friends to help convey to the annoyance. You know, the type of people that come when you take the place. The ones that we have met. Yeah. I know the people that you're talking about. Back in the day, darkness sun was the more dangerous province. Your dad used to be a bad guy, huh? Arrive at the going crowds. Oh, he's a mechanic, the fuck. He did it before, no. Still working general that he will beat him with a pipe if he takes out the gun from his car. He's a likable person. Sounds like it. Although he's a swap, so I'm also not too surprised, to be honest. There are so many stories of his youth that I probably think he's now enjoying solo life. And for the better. At some point in a person's life you have to do the talking with your mouth, not with your fists. Because most of the acquaintances that I find it on the ground very freely. Yeah, well, usually like this kind of like industry, let's call it, you end up one of three ways. You either end up in the ground, you end up behind the bars, or you're smart enough and live long enough to like change your ways. So that has been like a long time ago. It happened before you were born. Yeah. To be fair, the 90s, early 2000s were kind of the same here in Bulgaria as well. A lot of those people nowadays are, quotation marks, legitimate businessmen. So that was a wrestler. These are instruments third place. And after he was affected by car and funny part is a lot of like the mafia in the 90s actually came from like the wrestling um, teams and like uh, athletics here in Bulgaria. That's why they were called like borci, which kind of like means like the wrestlers that do wrestling sports. We may be in different countries and so on, but I feel all the Slav countries like share so much in common. Either we like it or not.
That appears to be the last of them.
I have like, because I have traveled and like met a lot of like the people from like different Slavic countries, and you realize that we have like so much in common, like our traditions, our culture, the way that we like view life and stuff. But at the same time, because there has been a lot of like conflict and like bad history between a lot of the countries, we also like don't really like, in a lot of cases you won't see like that closeness with Slavic countries that you may see like with Latin countries or Asian countries. Although like a lot of countries in Asia have like bad blood and like have bad relationships between them, exactly because of like a lot of common history between them.
Word from the misery. Repairs are complete, and
this one is voiced.
Further delay.
He doesn't have the voice I was expecting at all, like whatsoever.
I swear, if I never hear another ghost story, it will be too soon.
Alfinot also always like surprises me how deep of a voice he has, considering he looks like a twink. But yeah, with a lot of like countries, especially like where they are like closely geographically, politically, and so on. If you just stop and think like how close like our views on some stuff and like how our cultures and nations are like super close to each other. I feel cooperation will be a lot easier.
I remember the sea, the smell of the salt, and the crash of the waves as we drew closer to Kugane.
Unfortunately, with Slavic countries, I feel like the state is more, I don't care if like I am well and I'm like well off, as long as like my neighbor is worse than me. Which shouldn't be the case. Like,
from Doma.
You should like strive to like improve your like position and like your state, and don't really like care that much if your neighbor is doing better or worse than you.
I wish you could have seen it.
We got a better belt. We also got a dancer last time. Congratulations, you now staying in Kugane, the western port of Hingashi. Regrettably, the only port in this nation open to foreign trade. I feel we came into the fantasy Japan. Yeah, we're basically in fantasy Japan. Back had to help again. That's okay. I was just talking about shower thoughts and stuff. For a time and halfway around the world, tough enough is in no mood to take in the sights. Also, have you seen the Sea Shepherds? The Sea Shepherds? Huh? Do you mean something in Final Fantasy, or I don't know what you mean by Sea Shepherds. Didn't I should take care not to jam myself in event. Doma is our final destination and our first order of business should be to secure passage there. They are a rogue vessel that's been attacking and sinking Japanese ships. No, this is the first time I'm hearing about it. Is that like recent news? I know that like the whole fishing like rights and stuff is very like strained and has strained relationship in like that area for a very long time. I got their edits all over my For You page. I like how the algorithms for some like platforms work. You like at randomly click on a like article or something out of pure curiosity, and then your For You page like becomes flooded with content just about this, and I'm like, I just clicked on it because I was curious. I don't want to know every single freaking detail about it. The Japanese said they were research vessels and yet they were just whale hunting vessels. Yeah.
Over 12. I thought Ishgard remarkable, but this.
It's a research excuse.
A tavern is a tavern, Alphino, here or anywhere else. Now, if you'll excuse me, it's time to do what I do best.
Also, weren't whales like on the endangered species list for some time? Did their population like recover enough for like hunting to be allowed again?
The signs of the seventh dawn, I presume. I hope your voyage was not too trying.
And you are?
Ah, yes, of course. Forgive me. Hancock of the East Aldenard Trading Company, at your service. On behalf of Chairman Lolorito, I bid you welcome to Kugane and invite you to take refreshments at our local offices.
Lolorito? I was aware his interests extended beyond the borders of Eorzea, but not so far as Kugane. Regardless, I am disinclined to accept the hospitality of grinning merchants, especially those who serve a master with whom we have such a difficult relationship.
Do you mean the hantavirus? Hentai virus. For a moment I was like, what the fuck is a hentai virus? Yeah, I've seen a few articles. I haven't like seen that much content about it. I know that it's like pretty bad, and even like some people were discussing like, is that going to be the next like pandemic?
My, such naked suspicion.
No, the only thing I know about the virus is that like there was an outbreak on a cruise ship, and I think that there are even like people who died from it, and they were trying to disembark somewhere in Spain to get like medical assistance, but like a lot of the population are afraid that it may cause like a spread if they let the vessel in.
I do hope that business with the Crystal Braves did not rob you of all faith in your fellow man. Or do you really think the chairman is plotting to drag you into another one of his grand schemes?
I beg your pardon? If
It's
you are
in
trying
Europe
to win
already.
my trust, you
Well,
are failing quite spectacularly.
To be fair, if people like follow the instructions that we were doing
dear,
during
have I offended
COVID,
you?
to wash your hands, like wear a mask if you're like not feeling well, keep like social distance.
Once
I
again, I
don't
must
think like
apologize. Too much time in the
it
Far
should be
East, you
that
see.
bad.
One is compelled to talk in circles round everything here, and might I suggest that we continue this conversation at the company offices? Too many eyes and ears here, you understand. 'Twould be decidedly reckless to say any more.
If I may
Also,
say
to
the
be fair,
humor the
I'm
invigorating
like
candy you apparently
avoiding
crave,
going out
it would be decidedly
whatsoever
reckless
as
to
much
follow
as
a man I
possible.
neither
So
know nor trust. Give me one good reason.
Well,
hopefully
there's the young diplomat I was told to
nothing
explain.
comes out of it.
Very well then, I shall explain. You understand that you are come to a most reclusive and secretive nation, yes? One whose borders are closed to foreign trade save at this single port. Then it should come as no surprise that a great many parties have vested interests here. Merchants like myself are a given, of course, but for every one of us, you may be certain there is also an agent of a foreign government. Many notable nations and empires have embassies here, you know, including, of course, the Garlean Empire, with whom you have such a difficult relationship.
By the way, do you guys hear the dialogue okay? Should I like turn up the game more?
To paraphrase, Kagani is teeming with Imperial spies, one or several of whom could now be listening to our every word.
Something to that effect, yes. Beneath this veneer of bustling trade, a war for supremacy is being waged between world powers. One might say we were standing on the front lines, just not in public.
I still have my doubts, but he may have a point. I say we accept his invitation for now.
And you must be Montarashi, Slayer of Gods, Rider of Dragons, Savior of Ishgard, Stealer of Pants, Breaker of Chains, Mother of Dragons. If some of the more puzzling rumors are to be believed. And yet, may I say what an honor and pleasure it is to make your acquaintance, my lady. I just know you're and I are going to get along famously. Now then, without further ado, I want to escort you to the company. This being your first visit to our fair city, I shall make an effort to point out various landmarks along the way, if you would be so good as to follow. everyone, if I could have your attention, please. You're now standing in Tenkonto. Loosely translated, the name means Spire of Drifting Souls, which, as some of you may have deduced, makes reference to the Aetheryte which stands over yonder. The design is markedly different from those of Sharlayan, yet I trust its function is identical. A diplomat and a scholar will wonders never cease. For Eastern Aetheryte technologies have a long and storied tradition. I assure you this particular example was constructed by the Onishishu, a collective of skilled craftsmen who guard their ancestral techniques with the utmost secrecy. In short, you will find it no less reliable than its Western counterparts. Attune if you like. I will definitely. I do like this design more though. The old design looked like very raw, like the crystal. This looks more tamed, more refined. Beautiful though it may be, we cannot spend all day staring at the Aetheryte. Come, come, let us move along, the markets are next. Pom pom pom. I love that the minion, like the Midgar Summoner, it just like chills and flies around you, and sometimes even sits on your shoulder. It is very funny. We have arrived at the largest shopping district in Kugane, Kugane Dori. Kugane, is your doubtless unaware, is an ancient Klingon word for gold. So in this prosperous port where golden fortunes are made, lesser fortunes for Kugane are earned by the local merchant. It's all quite logical once you learn the language. Now you're beginning to speak my language. Oh, a kindred spirit. What a pleasure it is to meet the young lady who appreciates the value of hard-won coin. I don't know why I made Tataru sound like a gremlin. Don't get me wrong, she is a gremlin. Hancock of the East Aldenart Trading Company. You're with clients today. Why? If it isn't Master Kaiten? Pray allow me to introduce to you my esteemed guests, but recently come from distant Eorzea. So Eorzea is the continent. This kind and generous soul supervises all transactions here in Kugane Dori. I always thought Eorzea was like the whole dimension, like world, but I guess it's just the continent. Your sincerity is ever appreciated, as he says. I'm Kaiten of the Kakuchi-kon. Kakuchi-kon? And it is my honor to serve as overseer of these markets. As we received many foreign visitors in Kugane, we accept all manner of currencies. Rest assured, you're a Eorzean. You are welcome here. I invite you to peruse our wares at your leisure. Okay, and we are in arts. I'll use that moment to go and stretch and do a quick toilet break. And we'll be right back. Okay. We are back. I even got myself some coconut water for hydration. Is he gonna give us the whole tour of the city? If we may pause here for a moment. The road leads to the Ijin Gai, the district in which Ijin, or foreigners. Seriously, they went from Gaijin to Ijin? Are permitted to reside. This is Japan. Would this also be where the foreign embassies are found, including that of certain empire? Precisely, so you see, it would not be at all unusual to cross paths with one of the Garland cousins here. With this in mind, I would encourage you to choose your words carefully. We would not want any physical altercations after all, such spots being strictly forbidden. The Sekisegumi. The Shinsengumi became Sekisegumi, okay. They have like heavily like taken inspiration. Punish breaches of the peace quite severely. I have seen foreigners permanently exiled for a single violation. Though to be fair, this is not common. More often than not, they are executed on the spot. Okay, that's reassuring. What? Cut down then and there? You're joking, right? Would that I were, but alas, these samurai are humorless. What? Why, I recall one instance when a foreign merchant in his cups dared lay hands upon an Hingan aristocrat in front of a Sekisei-gumi. Can I call them just the Shinsengumi? It would be a lot easier for me to pronounce. The samurai cut him in half with a single stroke. I don't even want to think about that. For those of you that haven't followed, Lise is Ida from like the first expansions. So as you see, it would behoove you to behave. It would behoove you to behave. That's a sentence. Failing that, we may be forced to part ways with one another, or you with yourselves in the manner of the late Taleji Adeleji. That name sounds familiar, Teleji Adeleji. Oh, how I amuse myself. But we must carry on. I have yet to show you the Garland consulate. I do like Alphinaud's sister's sword. Very glowy. While we're here, let's attune to the shard. Pum 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 pum. Where the streets are paved with koban. Kobans are actually our channel points are called kobans. Kobans are like a golden currency that is like a flat like piece of gold that was used in Japan like back in the Middle Ages. This is, as you may have surmised, is the consulate of you-know-who. Mark the guards at the gate. Are their uniforms no different from those you have seen in the West? Were you to travel far and wide, you would find that many such variations exist, often inspired by local designs, all of which goes to show that even a massive empire seeking to rule all of creation is not without its artists. Hancock seems to be quite pleased with himself. There is also much more I could speak of. The soothing waters of the onsen, the ephemeral delight of the pleasure district, but you're doubtless still weary from your long sea voyage. Let us retire to the company offices. As long as we arrive at our destination, may I present to you our Hanwha offices? We have much to discuss. Are we gonna have a voiced cinematic?
Our thaumaturges took great pains to ward these walls against all manner of surveillance. Where business dealings are concerned, we do not compromise on confidentiality. You may avail yourselves of these offices for the duration of your visit. Come and go as you like, and know that you may speak freely here.
Your offer is most generous, but I will not enter into any agreement which would leave us beholden to you or your master.
A legitimate concern. Allow me to clarify, then. The chairman bids you consider this as an expression of his heartfelt contrition for the bloody banquet and the unpleasantness which followed. Never having been one to put stock in words alone, the chairman deems the provision of material aid to be a more appropriate demonstration of his sincerity. By sheer coincidence, your purpose here also happens to coincide with our own interests. That is, assuming you are come to aid the Doman Liberation Front.
How could... I will not bother to offer a denial. You have the right of it. To be specific, we are come in search of our Far Eastern allies, Yugiri and Gosetsu, whom we hope to assist in their fight.
The Auri Shinobi and the Rugadan Samurai? Then you will be pleased to know that they have both come to Kugani.
Are you sure?
Quite. They came here aboard a company vessel, you see. However, they encountered difficulties securing passage across the Ruby Sea.
The Ruby Sea? Sorry, I've never been any good at geography.
Forgive me. This calls for a map.
Geography lesson?
We are here in Kugani, the sole open port of Hingashi, situated on her western coast. Doma, meanwhile, is here on the eastern coast of Otherd in Yansha. Therefore, if your friends are to reach Doma, they must first cross the Ruby Sea. Alas, this is easier said than done, as the Ruby Sea does not fall within the dominion of either Hingashi or Doma, being controlled since antiquity by a third party, namely the Confederacy.
What was the Confederacy? Are we gonna go pirate hunting?
Said maritime collective is known for the consummate skill of its sailors, and for demanding that any vessel entering its waters pay a toll referred to as the Ruby Tithe. In exchange, the Confederacy's vast
Yeah,
fleet
pirates.
guarantees the safety of those who travel within its territory. Now, as I'm sure you are aware, Garlemald conquered Doma some 25 years past, at which time the Empire saw no value in controlling the Ruby Sea, and thus did they turn a blind eye to the activities of the Confederacy. The recently appointed acting Imperial Viceroy of Doma had other ideas, however. She has formally condemned the Confederacy and declared that any who recognize their authority shall be branded enemies of the Empire. Bowing to this pressure, Hingashi severed ties with these toll-takers and forbade the payment of the Ruby Tithe, prompting the Confederacy to make it known that any merchants choosing to sail the Ruby Sea would do so at their peril.
No wonder they struggled to secure passage to Doma. What captain would risk such a journey given the circumstances?
I'm told your friends were not so easily deterred from their course, but I know not whether their persistence bore fruit.
I say we follow in Yugiri and Gosetsu's footsteps and attempt to secure passage to Doma for ourselves. We will need to cross the sea in any case, and we may learn something of their whereabouts in the process. And should we find that they are still in Kugane, we can make the journey together.
In that case, I have some information which may be of use to you. No quid pro quo, I assure you. The chairman was most insistent that I aid you to the best of my ability.
Who's the chairman? Hey Fukuro, how you doing? How was your weekend? Don't reluctant take any action whatsoever that could be construed as placing ourselves in war. Lolorito's debt. We must avail ourselves of what means are available. Our Megan allies placed their faith in us, and I do not intend to disappoint them. Let me give you a quick shout out. Guys, if you're not following Fukuro, please go and give him a follow. He's a very funny and entertaining streamer who's also going to be debuting a new model this week. And also he's a stinky cat, so, you know. You get one with the other. Ideator would seem best suited to the task of organizing our supplies and procuring new ones. I take the thanks back. You are a stinky cat. What do you mean you take the thanks back? Tell me I said a lie. Try and convince the people that you're not a stinky cat. Oh, Ishtawa warned me that you were a bit of an artist, but these are great. They'll definitely come in handy. Damn, that art is really... What did I lie on? You're entertaining, you're a funny streamer, and you're a stinky cat. Where's the lie in my statement? You wanna fight? You wanna fight? You first have to go through Era though. And she's a feisty one. I'm not sure who's gonna win from the two of you, cause you're a small bean as well. What am I supposed to do? View? Oh, final sketch with Lisa. supposed to? The items. Ah, sorry. No time for instructions. Why don't we start by visiting Karaku at the something onsen? That was it. The onsen. We are going to the hot springs. Is this going to be our filler episode? Do we get the beach episode? I like how the dancer like is considered a martial art, but at the same time like their quotes look very oriental. This isn't the beach. Well, we're kinda on the seaside. Yeah, it's not the beach, but like close enough. This is a bathtub. Well, the onsen isn't exactly a bathtub. It's more of a pond filled with hot mineral water in most cases. Hey, Spoopy! Welcome to Kugane. This is basically medieval Japan. Damn, Melt isn't getting the ref. I don't get... Where is this reference to from? Do the jump puzzle. There is a jump puzzle. Are you talking about this thingy? Can I just wait to the end game and do it when I'm like whole leveled up and yeah. Basically, yeah, Kugane is just... Yeah, so Seiken Gumi is basically the Shinsen Gumi. Ijin, which are foreigners, are basically Gaijin. So, yeah, it is Japan. It's from an old porn video dialogue that turned into a meme. First of all, why do you know this? And second, how should have I known a reference to a porn movie? Don't get me wrong, like, Korn is great. Like, more power to them, but why? You have to get to the top of that tower, then jump from the roof. Anyway, I'm being summoned. Yes, Stinky. Thank you for stopping by. I have to go to the top of the tower. Do you mean that tower? And then... Huh? I don't know, ask the internet why it's a meme now. I understand why it's a meme, because it's the internet. The internet can turn everything into a meme. My question is, why do you know this, like, interesting tidbit of information? The internet can turn literally everything, including the greatest, like, human tragedies into a meme. Also, after all, the myth, the greatest myth, the legend Johnny Sins is one of the biggest memes on the internet. Funny thing though, warum lijkt hier zo stro? Waarom hast du eine Maske auf? Why is here straw? Why do you have a mask on? He's a German dialog, every German knows. I feel that is like born from a story or something. Because it on its own it doesn't make much sense. I can say warum liegt hier straw and every German will complete it. Warum hast du eine Maske? What does like this saying mean? Like, is there a meaning behind it, or is it just like random gibberish? Also, speaking of German, I've started refreshing my German because I used to learn it like all throughout high school and then 4 years in university, but I haven't used it since I finished university, to be honest. So it's been what about 15 years now since I've last used it. It's just the worst dialogue intro from a porn video and people here make fun of it. Yeah. What was it? Yeah. Fantastische Alośka war wunderbar. Now that was a meme long time ago. It's highly possible you haven't been born. Freaking zoomers everywhere. It's just the worst dialogue. When you think about it, when was the last time you've seen a porn movie that had a good dialogue? Is there such a thing as porn movie with good dialogue? Because when they do like the scripts for like porn movies, they want you to just jerk it. They don't want you to get engrossed in the story and the dialogue behind it. Does hentai count? I would say yes, it is a form of porn. Although a lot of people consider hentai to be just a subgenre of anime. In a way. It was actually a really funny hentai anime. Thank you for the beanies. What the actual fuck? You wasting your biddies just so you can show your smug face to me. I see how it is. Why do I feel... Yeah, I need to be downstairs. Not gonna lie, like being smug or trolling the streamer is some of the best use of bits that one could do. Otherwise, you're just being SFW. Oh yeah, chat. We are developing new terminology. From today onwards, SFW is not safe for work. It is simp for waifu. And NSFW is naughty simp for waifu. So get educated, start using the proper use. And before you ask, everything and anything can be a waifu, regardless of existence, gender, species, race, and so on. You have heard the term waifu is life, right? Is the bastard here somewhere? Where's the last captain? Is he gonna be on the ship, maybe? I'm confused. I'm confused. Yeah, he's a meticulous merchant. I like how when they didn't wanna like just give them names or like didn't wanna bother, they're like eager recruit, eager beaver, meticulous merchant, devout believer. The most generic ass names that they could come up with. And yes, eager beaver is my favorite. Don't tell the others. Don't tell the others. Da-da-da-da. Who has time for stairs? Do the hero landing. Never mind, judging from the look on your face, you didn't have much better work than I did. Yugi and Gusetsu sketch. Wall mount. Oh, you can use it as decoration now. Hello? Speak with the Gyodo. Where is Gyodo? Is he upstairs? Most likely, yes. I do like the architecture in this town, though. He kind of looks like a mascot. What? Why do you stare? You have business with me? Also, why is he squeaking? By the 12, a talking fish. Yes, talking fish. How very observant of you. Ijin, sir. You find me in good spirits, so your rudeness, I will ignore this once. But only if you address me again in the proper manner. Sorry, I've never met. Let's start again. You're Gyodo, right? My name is Lisa, and this is Madarashi. We are looking for some friends of ours. Okay. I see. Both these ones I know well. I helped them secure passage across the Ruby Sea. Really? That's wonderful. Could you do the same for us? Yes, this would not be a problem for you. I could charter a ship this very day. But the journey is fraught with much peril. The fare will not be cheap. Are you sure you can afford to pay? I didn't think to bring any money, but surely Tatar will let us take whatever we need from the Scion's coffers, right? We would be the only passengers, though. Could we take a moment? We wouldn't be the only passengers, though. Could we take a moment to talk it over with our friends? Yes, but hurry. Your ship must depart under cover of darkness. We shall meet again at sunset on the Tasagore Bridge. Do not forget your fare. Bring many gil, yes? Why do I feel that's a trap? And we're gonna get sold to the pirates. It's about time our work changed. Alphenot and the others will be thrilled. I can smell the fish from here. And it's not just because he's a fish person. We spoke with a number of merchants and captains at the southern piers. Several recognized Gusetsu and confirmed that he had been searching for a vessel to deliver him to Otard. None, however, made any mention of Lady Yugiri. Yes, it was the same story for us, and then you'll never believe what happened. So this Gyodo claims to have aided both Gusetsu and Yugiri. How fortuitous. That's a funny word, fortuitous. Not the word I would have chosen, Master Alphenot. Stupid, what's that code? How can you agree to his price without making any attempt to haggle? Or even confirming what it was in the first place? Yes, that too was a misstep on the part, but it is not what troubles me most. Gyodo and his brethren are not renowned for their generosity of spirit, rather they are disdained as scheming moneylenders, even ever eager to turn a profit from others' misfortune. Everyone else we questioned stated that Gusetsu was the only Gyodo claims to have met both him and Yugiri. I suppose it's just possible that Gusetsu made inquiries by himself and only called upon Yugiri once he had found a willing captain. But it is equally possible, if not more likely, that you are being deceived. Do not forget that there are parties present in Kogane with agendas which may run contrary to your own. The Viceroy was once a spy herself, as I recall. I should be surprised if she did not have countless agents here in her employ, all eager to prove themselves to their new master. And what better way to do so than by delivering her the heads of foreign insurgents? Fine, you may be right about him, but if Gyuru's working for the Empire, who's to say he didn't try to the same trick on Yugiri and Gusetsu? I mean, if he did, he may know where they are. And if he succeeds, then they may be in trouble. Anyway, if he holds up his end of the bargain, we will have nothing to worry about, will we? But if he tries to betray us, I vote we take him prisoner and punch him till he tells us the truth. She is a very violent person. So if it's a trap, we'll spring it and deal with the consequences. I like the way you think. She is also a very violent person. Very well, we should prepare for the worst. Tatar will remain here and I shall follow the three of you at a discreet distance. Once more, I must caution you to avoid physical altercation at all costs. Even should Imperial agents attempt to engage with the Sekisei Gumi, will not hesitate to clap you in irons or put you down. If anything untoward should happen, you are to return here at once. Is that clear? Why do I feel it's not going to end that easily? I'm ready to bet all of my guild this is gonna be a trap.
He's late.
He looks like a squeaky toy.
Endless and most sincere apologies to you and yours, yes.
Oh
yes.
Jesus, the voice they gave
this
him.
way, quickly now.
It's like listening to a goblin or a gremlin. It is not far away. Doo-doo-doo, doo-doo, doo-doo.
Enough! Where are you taking us? Where is the ship?
The ship. So very sorry to inform you, yes, yes. Long before was it pledged to another.
Oh.
To me, these ones are for Doma.
Oh, garlands.
I knew it couldn't be this simple.
Nothing personal, yes, yes. Just business.
Then business is about to take a turn for the worse.
Kick him in the water.
Come on,
Okay.
let's find a way out of here.
So, are we supposed to escape now? They did say not to fight, but I guess we don't really have a choice. Okay, I guess that's the Shinsengumi. We've got our senses, fighting them out of the question. We'll have to wind our way back to the Ruby Bazaar, evading their patrols as we go. They find you, use these smoke bombs to make your escape. We have 9. Increase critical hit rate. Okay. Welcome back, Kai. Am I even going towards the right thingy? Okay, I guess I have to go. The other side. Where exactly am I going? Okay, I guess I found the right way. I could get the 3D printer since the Cantimans me, so I can at least enjoy it. That's a very grim prediction, Kai. But yeah, if you have the space, I think 3D printing is a very interesting and fun hobby.
Clear the road! Clear the road! You there, Korjin. We seek 4 foreigners. One, a brutish woman carrying an unconscious Namazu. Have you seen them?
If you ask me, it's better if nobody gets it. I lost both of my grandparents to COVID, so Believe me, dude. It's rough, regardless if you survive it or not. Like,
Very rude they were, making no apology as they barged
for
past.
those that are lefty,
They
isn't
went
like
that way.
that much easier.
Many thanks, good sir. With me.
All is well. The Sekisei Gumi will not return this way for some time, I should think. You are of the East Aldenard Trading Company, yes? Come with me.
What
I
are
know
you?
a safer way.
You look like the Groots from the Tao Empire in 40k. They should microwave the carriers. Well, let's not go that extreme. But yeah, proper procedures for quarantine and so on should be followed.
You are returned. And with guests, I see.
Our meeting went about as well as expected.
He
brought the
kind of,
Namazu who
especially
thought to
with
betray
this bell on
When he
his
wakes
neck,
up,
he kind of
we'll
looks
see what
like
he
a
knows
Team
about Imperial
Ordered
Gazetsu.
Jeff.
Well done, you. When I saw the Sekisei Gumi out in force, I did begin to worry, but I see my fears were misplaced.
Fish. A talking fish.
Actually, if it weren't for Soroban, we might not have gotten away.
'Twas my pleasure.
Well, he looks like a catfish, which are fairly tasty, so why not?
Yet I must ask, Soroban, why would you deceive the Sekisegumi to help us, foreigners of whom you know naught?
Why, out of the kindness of my heart, is what I would like to say, but my motives are not so pure.
Thank you for stopping by, Kai. Bye-bye.
I chanced to witness your meeting with Hancock at the tavern.
An opportunity.
Like many, I came to Kugane as a trader to make my fortune. Kojin of the Red may serve the Empire as mercenaries, but Kojin of the Blue walk a different path. Regretfully, most here would rather not meet our gaze, much less do business. So I seek the custom of those less predisposed to dismiss us outright, namely the East Aldenard Trading Company.
Quid pro quo, is it? Well, there is no denying that we owe you a debt. What say you, Hancock? Will you consider doing business with our entrepreneurial friend here?
Rest assured, Master Soroban, that in matters of trade, the company does not discriminate. We would be honored to hear your proposal.
I promise you will not regret this, good sir.
Is that the Ninja Turtle? I just registered that he has a shell on his back.
Ah, yes. You
Yeah,
sought passage
that's
across
literally
the
Ninja
sea,
Turtle.
did you not?
You do? Well then, far be it from us to refuse. You have our deepest thanks.
And you mine.
If the chairman of their company is a rat, I'm calling BS. It doesn't make any sense to me. Like, what logic do they follow to choose which cinematics to voice and which not to voice? No, 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 no more boots. All my secrets are yours for the asking. He broke fairly fast. Join the girl and suffer the bounty for any domans found in Kugane. Oh, my mistake. You're not a spy, but a common cutthroat. Not that I'm surprised. You need half a brain to be a spy, so what happened to the samurai? Such a cruel, vicious tongue you have. He would not go quietly, no. Blades were drawn, men were cut down, and the Sekisei Gumi came. They took the samurai away. Hold on a moment, you mean to tell me the Ijin they arrested the other day was Gosetsu? Well, had I but known, if he is in the custody of the Sekisei Gumi, I need only see it that the requisite funds find their way into the right official's hands and your friend will walk free. Bribery, corruption. As it is in Oda, so it is in Kugane, but given the circumstances, it seems you have no choice but to resort to morally questionable means. We'll make a pragmatist of you yet, Master Alphenot. Are we gonna be bribing people? You are free to wait here while I speak with the relevant officials, but if you would rather wait for Gosetsu outside the barracks, we can go together. I wouldn't put it past the Imperials to try something again, so mayhap it would be best if Lise, Matarashi and I joined you. Alright, but what about Gyodo? I will keep an eye on him for the time being. We can release him after you return with Gosetsu. He will doubtless have some choice words to say to the little fellow. Soraban, mayhap it would be prudent to prepare your ship for our immediate departure. As you wish. Everything is in order, then let's be off. The Sekisei Gumi barracks are to the north. Sekisei Gumi. I still feel more like calling them Shinsen Gumi instead of Sekisei Gumi, but I'll get around to it. I'll get used to it. Oh, Hancock to the Sekisei Gumi barracks. Okay, they're not that far. At least. The Kugane Castle. That's a pretty big castle. Why do I feel it's not going to go as easy as we think to free Gosetsu? Things never go as planned in this game. I must ask that you wait here. You may be assured that this will not take long. do we just wait? Is it really going to be as simple as he says, do you think? Nope. Absolutely not. He said it wouldn't take long, right? Because this feels a bit wrong to me. Calm down, Liz. Everything is going to be alright. Much as I hate to admit it, I share Hancock's dim view of government officials and their supposed incorruptibility. From what I've glared at the Far East, they are probably exchanging lengthy pleasantries. There seems to be a correct way to do everything here. Bribery being no exception. I say we lived into it, right, Matarashi? Right, everything's fine, probably. I mean, it couldn't be as bad as the last time we stood around waiting for something to happen. We're gonna have to fight our way out, I feel.
How about you? Ah!
Was that? That was Gazetsu. I'm sure of it. He's in trouble. Lise, wait!
I suppose we should follow her then.
And don't have much choice. Let's go.
Victory to the samurai!
Are they making friendly exchange?
How many is that now? 10 in a row?
Gazetsu!
Oh! This is a surprise! What in blue blazes are you three doing here?
I could ask you the same thing. We've been looking all over for you, and then I suddenly heard you screaming.
It would seem there has been a misunderstanding. Allow me to explain.
That's an explanation, I guess.
So, in summary, you started a brawl with some off-duty Imperial soldiers and were subsequently arrested by the Sekisagumi, whom you somehow befriended and convinced to set you free if you could defeat a given number of them in single combat.
10 bouts for my freedom, aye. 'Tis but a pity you came too late to witness the last one. And with that, I'm free to go, yes?
Our word once given may not be broken, but we pray you make every effort to avoid future altercations. Circumstances notwithstanding, my lord, we are honored and grateful to have witnessed firsthand the skill of a Doma samurai.
Ah, and we had just concluded negotiations. I gather my assistance was not required.
The synchronized reaction. Did we level up? No. This is supposed to be a bard, but she looks more like cowboy, cowgirl. I must apologize that you endured such trials and tribulation in search of me. There is no need for that. You had no way of knowing we would come looking for you. You were after a ship to take you to Doma, yes? It just so happens we have found a willing captain. Truly, what fortune. We'll tell all about the company office. Tentator are waiting for us there. Where is the ninja girl? Once more to the room tea. So thank the 12 you're unharmed. As you can see, Master Alfield, I am the very picture of health. You vile fiend, malevolent trickster, how kind the Kami are to grant me vengeance so soon. But first, I demand you to return the coin you so villainously embezzled from me. You have a very right to be angry, good sir. Gladly would I return to you your coin, had I not been forced to repay certain gambling debts beforehand. I think we're gonna eat the fish. Setting that matter aside for the moment, where is Lady Yugiri? Was she not traveling with you? For a time, but we parted ways some while ago. The better to improve our chances of finding Ward Hien. Ward Hien? Forgive me, I have yet to explain. Ward Hien is the heir to Doma's throne and our master. His was a passionate voice for the cause of Doman liberation. When we learned of the Emperor's death, it only grew louder. So you seized upon the opportunity and rose upon to reclaim your freedom only for your hopes to be dashed when Xenos led his army onto your lands. The Crown Prince was a merciless foe. Against him and the might of the Ziut, we had no chance. Once Ward Hien understood this, he bade Yugiri to take the sea with as many of our people as possible. He, however, would stand and fight, that they might have more time to escape. I remained by his side as well, and together we carried on our doomed war. And then one day, in a fierce battle, we were separated. I knew not what became of him, only that he was beyond the Empire's reach, and that to find him I would need Yugiri's aid. The situation grows more perilous by the day, for the new Viceroy Yutsuyu is a black-hearted villainess who delights in the torment of our people. There is no she would do to further her pursuit of Ward Hien. Thank you, I believe that makes matters a good deal clearer. It should please you to learn that we are come to aid the Dawn Liberation Front in resuming their effort overthrow the Imperial oppressors. Why am I yawning so much? They will allow me to join you. My inquiry is here bore no fruit, hence my desire to return to Otard. Once there, I can lead you to our headquarters in Yanxia, where we shall all be reunited with Yugiri. Mayhap not all, Alphinaud's talents would seem better applied here in Kugane. Working closely with Tataru and Hancock to feed us intelligence, there is a Garland embassy just down the road after all. While I appreciate the vote of confidence, I should be glad to accompany you all. As a soldier in the field, so to speak, come now, brother. A competent commander assigns his soldiers the tasks best suited to them. As you of all people should know, and you are so very good at espionage and intrigue. For we all must serve each in our own. Very well, it would seem my place is here. Sorban is waiting at the pier. Have fun, you lot. We're going on a mission, like, to infiltrate an empire. She's telling us to go have fun. What kind of fun does she have in mind? Burn and wonder. If Garlands have coin, we rob. Jesus. I haven't been able to sleep very well for the last couple of days. I think combined I have like 8 hours of sleep between the last 2 days. How comfortable. Urban. I have been waiting for you, my friends. All preparations have been completed and my ship awaits its passengers. Shall we depart without further delay? After you, my short friend. Insist with me, everyone. The Ruby Sea awaits. Are we gonna encounter pirates on the way? I feel there's gonna be pirates. Otherwise they wouldn't have been mentioned. Of course we're gonna stop in the middle of the sea.
I remember the water, how it turned crimson in the morning sun.
That's the toll structure.
A shimmering sea of rubies, stretching from horizon to horizon. You could almost believe it went on forever. But beyond that red expanse lay a land in turmoil. On the shores of Othard, our Doman brothers struggled in vain.
How wide and beautiful she is, the Ruby Sea, filled with promise and adventure, and treasures, many wonderful treasures. Now, in order to reach the shores of Port Arthur, you need to cross the resplendent water. However, this is easier said than done. To set forth without making the necessary preparations to invite the Confederacy to claim your vessel, and your life should your resist. but this fate can be avoided by paying the ruby tithe, thereby earning you the blessing of Empire. So let us go and greet them. Our destination is out the west. That doesn't look very far to me. Why don't we jump in and swim for it? I've had my fill of bolts. An excellent idea. I think you shall find the water to your liking. I will use my ship to deliver those less inclined to the isle. Are we really swimming there? Why am I agreeing to this? Also, the water could be good. At the same time, the water could be with sharks. Although it does look very clean. We going skinny dipping? Right, this should be easy and a good way to loosen up before the next fight whenever it comes. 20 Gil says I beat you there. Yeah, she beat me. She already disappeared. Jeez. Well, there goes my Gil. Yep, she's already here. Ah, there you are. I trust you enjoyed yourselves. Follow me, my friends. The one with whom we must speak is a man named Tansui. Why are there two crystals so close next to each other? And at the same time there is nothing around here. I fear you have the advantage of me. Huh? Most honorable team. I just noticed that my last name is the same as the city that we were just in. And this is the first time I'm encountering this city, so that's a total coincidence, but it is funny. As you're in the company of the Shellback, I presume we have business to discuss. That is very true. We do have business to discuss. You wish to pay the ruby tithe, yes, with your guild perhaps. It is just as well. Foreign currencies are in demand these days. I would pay for their passage to Otard. Does this sum meet with your satisfaction? The sea has been quite tempestuous of late. I cannot say with confidence that you would reach your destination safely unless you tripled it. Do you take me for a fool? I know the price, as do you, as do all. Hey Hamburg, how you doing? Thank you for the stretch. How was your weekend, my friend? How have you been? Also take some hydration. Awas, we live in interesting times as you came from Kugane. Okay, Kugane, okay, so it's not the same. I should think I need to not tell you that. The shadow of war wombs the wise and the cautious shirk our waters, and our customs and the foolhardy sharpen their knives in anticipation. Meaning? Sir, you've got to come quickly. The bastards are at it again. I tried to convince them to stop, but they weren't having it. Very well, I'll be there shortly. A proposition. For comrades strike me as a worthwhile investment. I would not hear men name me a cat before Koban, so I shall consider their tight paid. Not for what they have done, but for what I expect they will do. I'm not sure what to make of that man, but at least the matter of our tithe is settled for now. What was that he and the other pirate were talking about? Maybe we ought to go and have a look. I think the turtle man thinks that's a bad idea. I also think that's a bad idea. Usually you don't want to get involved in thingy. In pirates business. Can you like leave me alone? Thank you. There's a volcano. I see our destination. Can you like stop chasing me now? You know what? You asked for it. If you don't wanna leave, you get bit. Is it a good idea to sneak on pirates, though? Usually no.
Gentlemen, I'm told you were most unreceptive to my associate's requests. I realize you do not look kindly on the Confederacy and her ways, but if you refuse to pay the ruby tithe, your safety in these waters cannot be assured.
Spare me your concern, pirate. Your feeble attempts at extortion will not work on us. You remain at large because we allow it. Because you are such insignificant little pests that we see no need to swat you. But if you wish to risk the ire of the Viceroy, by all means, fire upon an Imperial vessel. Give us a reason to bring the full might of the Garlean Empire to bear against your pathetic fleet.
Bastards!
Red Ninja Turtle.
Gentlemen, surely the fact that you have such limitless resources at your disposal gives you all the more reason to spare some few coins for the less fortunate.
All talk, just as I thought. Come, let us away. I have no time for this rubbish.
We're all the same to them, aren't we? Savages to be ruled or slaughtered.
They've always balked at paying the ruby tithe, but they were never so eager to pick a fight. The problem, you see, is that many of my comrades in the Confederacy are of Doman descent, and the acting Viceroy, well, she's none too fond of Domans, to say the least. If we take any action to hinder the safe passage of an Imperial vessel, she'll accuse us of attempting to foment rebellion and brand us enemies of the Empire, which we can ill afford to be. Like the man said, we're all talk.
And where did the Kojin stand in all this?
With the winning side, of course. They're mercenaries to a fault, eager to offer their services without coercion. The Shellback could tell you more, though something tells me he would rather not.
Where is the Shellback?
I don't understand. If the Garleans are causing the Confederacy this much trouble, and if so many of you are Doman to begin with, why aren't you willing to fight back?
Spoken like a true friend of the Doman Liberation Front. If you're planning to rouse us with noble words and grand promises, don't bother. We all know what the Imperial Army can do. Compared to them, we're boys with boats. Besides, what ties a man may once have held to his home are forsaken upon joining the Confederacy. We look out for none but our own. Be that as it may, our livelihood is under threat. And the captain will need to decide soon whether we're to go down in a blaze of glory, or bow and scrape for crumbs from the Emperor's table. All while our friend the Viceroy continues her purge of Doma's radical elements. I believe she's holding court in one of the fishing villages even as we speak.
That she-devil! Her perfidy knows no bounds! She must be
Jaki
stopped!
za perfidy.
Come, let us find Soroban and put us here at once!
Tell the others that these ones have paid. We all have places to be.
What are we waiting for? Come, Soroban cannot have gone far. Though now that I think of it, it is passing strange that he... The way he speaks is super weird. Passing strange that he left without warning. Mayhap he did not wish to be seen by his Kojin brethren. I doubt he thought to leave us behind, but nevertheless it may be prudent to return to his ship. Or at least to the Confederate encampment. Okay, back to the camp we go. Bum, ba, bum. Why did I go down from my mount? Either current. I will still have to gather all the rest once I catch up with the levels and everything, but we can still gather like whatever's on the way. A water sprite. Search for Soruban. Could be in one of the buildings. No? Oh, my friends, 1,000 panels, and you may have guessed I was reluctant to be seen in your company by my red brothers. Ours is a complex relationship. I pray you do not misinterpret their actions as a reflection of our allegiances as a whole. You understand, Kami be praised. Too often are shelless quick to judge, all Kojin for the deeds of one. Right then, now that our business with Tansui is concluded, we can traverse the Ruby Sea without fear. Okay, that's for the Dark Knight. Oh, the others. What classes that I haven't leveled. All aboard. Yeah, whenever I see these dudes, the only thing I can think of is Mutant Ninja Turtles. We made it through the Ruby Sea. Here I am reasonably certain none bore witness to our approach. And with this I believe I have fulfilled the terms of our agreement. Aye, that you have. You have my deepest thanks, Orban. Truly, we are blessed to have befriended such a clever and industrious merchant. Oh, you're much too kind, good sir. I know now where your path may lead, but I wish you the very best and hope that we shall meet again. So we finally arrived in Otart. All we need to do now is liberate Doma. Ah yes, that. Daunting though it is, we do have one thing in our favor. The element of surprise. And like in Gir Albania, the Imperials don't know we're here. Admittedly, that may be our only advantage, considering how few of us there are. Well, I expect the Domon liberation. Hey, Paka! No, you're stinky. Ah, you're only on 8% stinky. The bot is lying. How much did you bribe my bot? I'm not stinky, see? I do not believe you. You're a stinky brat, a stinky sheep. It may well be a smell ceruleum in the breeze. Ceruleum? See your magnitudes more, brat. Magnitudes, I tell you. I'm
Even
tired
accounting for
today.
the rebellion, such indiscriminate shows of force seem
Were you
hopelessly
working all day?
excessive.
Yeah, that tracks. Then you should go eep early.
Only you knew how commonplace such scenes have become.
You should go eep.
Are we too late?
Over there, someone's coming.
What do you mean no? I do need to go to bed. Like, I have been yawning for the last 2 hours.
It is she, sworn enemy of Doma.
Oh, and I
Master.
also haven't slept a lot over the last 2 days.
Garleans.
The Viceroy herself. And look behind her. Isn't that...
For the first time, I would agree with you, Paka. But you know, even a broken clock can be right twice a day.
What I wouldn't do for a drink.
Come now. You've no reason to look so afraid. You have lived through a quarter of a century of Garlean rule, remember? 'Tis better to bend with the wind than stand tall and be broken. Therein lies hope. Therein lies freedom. I come before you today seeking affirmation.
I do like her outfit, though.
Heartfelt declaration. You are free to answer me as you see fit, yet even the least among you should know the correct response. Shh. A resident of your village, one of your neighbors, mayhap your friend, was detained by the Korjin this morning. They say he was attempting to flee to Kugane, but we both know that simply isn't true, don't we? Have you anything to say? Bit slow, this one. Is there anyone more sensible among you? Have any of you anything to say? To swear?
My lady, I swear to serve the Empire, to do whatever is asked of me, and never disobey.
Well said, that man. Of course, it wouldn't do to simply take you at your word.
Do she force him to kill his, like, villager?
Kill him. Surely you can do that much. He must be guilty of something or other, or he wouldn't have attempted to flee the Empire.
I have a family. Kami, forgive me. Kami, forgive me.
Very, very good. I've always had a soft spot for men like you. Next, I want you to shoot those two over there. Too old to work, you understand. A burden on the Empire. We can't have that.
But they're my parents. You can't expect me to...
That's an evil bitch.
She's right. They would simply take the villagers hostage. We must consider the wider picture. If we act recklessly, we risk alerting the Garleans to our presence here, making it that much harder for us to work with the local rebels, to say nothing of the reprisals ordinary civilians would be made to suffer.
Open your eyes, girl. They are already suffering. Let me go. I am putting an end to this madness. I will approach the village alone and identify myself as a former leader of the rebellion and a known fugitive. They will wish to detain me until they are certain they have learned all I know. Use this time to make your plans.
You saw what those monsters did to the villagers. Who knows what they'll do to you, assuming they don't kill you where you stand?
We live and die at the pleasure of the Kami. My fate is in their hands and no others. If it be of any comfort, I am no stranger to chains.
You can't expect us to stand idly by as a comrade goes marching off to his death. And this is nothing like Kugane.
Nor is it like the Reach, Lise, or the Wall. Let him go. Hold out for as long as you can, but remember, noble sacrifices are to remain an absolute last resort. I wish I could say it won't come to that, but only the gods know how we're going to get you and the others out in one piece. A miracle, perchance.
A great tower stands to the north and east. Look to its occupants for aid and succor. Together, you may yet find your miracle. Now, leave this place. I must go.
Why is he, like, giving himself away?
Oh. Another idiot like all the rest. I'm beginning to think it may be something fundamental. Something intrinsic. Something quintessentially Doman to ignore the simple truth. You can't do a damn thing if you're dead.
Enough, Yotsuyu!
Well now, this is a surprise.
Hear me, Yotsuyu! Cease this farce, here and now, and I shall surrender myself to you. Refuse, and all shall answer to my blade.
Bring him to the tavern.
This feels very questionable and potholy, cause okay, you're gonna surrender yourself. What guarantees you? Thank you for the 5 stream pack, 5 stream streak packa. What stops her from capturing you and then still killing everybody? I don't know, this feels extremely potholy. Wait, are we swimming there? Where is the route? I guess we're swimming there. I'm curious if this works in water. No. He seems to have evaded their patrol so far. What is that tower anyway? I have never seen anything like it. According to my map, we are on Okoro, and the tower is known as Heaven on High. Heaven on High? High as heaven. A mysterious structure built long ago by persons unknown. Oh gods, listen to me, I'm starting to sound like Ophenot. Next thing you know, I'll be saying things like, as you're dopeless already aware. Over there, do you see it? Doesn't look like it's been that long. Whoever did this, they're a good shot. I can see a single stray arrow. Well, someone's hungry. Wait, that wasn't either of you two, was it? Why are there murder walruses? Probably not, no. Yeah. I don't wanna fight you though. Why would I wanna fight you when I can just outrun you? I'll be right back. Let me just go and attune to the crystal. Oh, there's a settlement here and they even got their own outright. Wait a minute, I've seen that standard before. It was when we met Tansui, which means this place belongs to Confederacy? Okay, I think I'll leave it here though, because I have been suppressing my yawns for the last hour or so. I think it's time for me to go bed. Let's see who's currently on so we can go on a raiding. Is there anyone playing Final Fantasy or the such? Ooh, Ovsny is having his birthday, but he's also on a break. He just went on a 40-minute break. No, that was an hour ago. Okay, let's see who else is online. Maybe he'll come back. Okay. Okay, it's Ovsny's birthday, so let's go and raid him. Hopefully he will. That will rush him up to come back to the stream. He's going to be playing some Dead by Daylight. So yeah, let's go and wish him happy birthday. Go and have some fun with him. And I'll see you guys on Wednesday. I still don't know what I'm going to be doing on Wednesday. The options are two. We'll either be playing more Final Fantasy, or we're going to be painting some minis, depending on what I feel in the day and how I feel about it. It's going to be one or the other. Thank you everybody for stopping by. Thank you for sticking with me, and I'll see you guys next time. And as usual, I love you. I appreciate you. Bye bye.